It's Dale D'Antoni here. Welcome to the Sofa Sessions. D'Antoni, Wayne.
All right, welcome back to episode 43. Today we have the Harlem Sons on, all but one of them. I don't know who's missing now.
Missing my brother, the drummer.
Mr. Alex.
Mr. Alex.
Mr. Alex, we're missing you. Maybe next time you can be on. But yeah, I'll be honest. I don't really know too much about you guys. I thought I would kind of just wing this. I know you guys from Aaron, but I'm excited to listen to you guys. Talking out to you guys in the parking lot was fun. You guys are like real Southern boys, so I think that's cool. But yeah, like I guess we can just start off with like kind of introductions. Like, what do you guys do? What do you guys play? Kind of where you guys started playing, and just that kind of stuff.
What's up, man? My name's Aaron, and I play guitar for the Harlem Sons, and I sing a little bit.
I'm Drew with the Harlem Sons. I play guitar and try to sing a little bit less.
I'm Daniel Gibson, play guitar for the Harlem Sons.
Jason Tyler, play bass for the Harlem Sons a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Try my best.
Just a little bit. Yeah. So where did you guys meet at, and how did you guys like kind of come up with this whole band kind of thing?
Well, we come from a long line of music, man. I think me and my brother have been playing together for a while. I went to high school with Daniel. That joker always played, so he had a band, and I always was like, man, how do I get in that joker's band?
Yeah.
Well, it turns out he got in our band. So 180, man, good little flip. But then man, I just met Drew through Alex. They were jamming at the barn one time, and then I met Jason later on. Man, we got all kind of stories, dude. That's a long walk there.
When it says barn, we have like a common meeting ground. That's what
Yeah.
we're trying to assume.
And I mean, it's not a primitive type barn with like, horses and hay. I mean, it's got some amenities.
Yeah.
It does not have heat or air though, so we've
Yeah.
done some cold, like 15 in the teens last year.
Yeah, man, it's
hot
definitely
days
rough
were
cut
rough.
time.
The hot days, bro.
It's hard to keep instruments in
You need-
tune out there on them days.
Don't need a pack of new guitar strings after every practice from all the sweat.
Yeah. Is that where you guys record too?
Nah, man. We really, man, we try to get linked up with the right people. Jay he kind of took us in and helped us out and produced an album for us. And, it's really a different experience. Like, I think if you haven't done it, like, you ought to go, like, sit in a studio while somebody's doing something creative, man.
Yeah.
Oh, watching their mind work is like watching a mouse in a maze to me. I mean, they going all over the place grabbing this, like, what about this? And then next thing you know, you got some craziness that you never even thought of.
Yeah, man, it shows the importance of every job in music, too, man.
It also shows how creative they can get the sounds with some crazy stuff, some stuff you wouldn't even think of.
Yeah.
There's people who use like a box of Nerds taped up to get like a shaker sound. You never know what you might find in the studio, dude.
You're right, dude. They do.
Yeah. So how long have you guys been friends for collectively?
I'm not friends with none of these guys. No, I'm just kidding, man. Love these fellas. Like I said, man, I went to high school with Daniel. Hell, we played t-ball together.
You did play
On the Cubs, son. On the Cubs. And then I met Drew later on playing music. Actually, I think I met him before that through a different buddy of mine. I just didn't know Drew was Drew at the time.
Yeah.
And I was out at the property on some Halloween celebration night. See, I knew their pops and actually worked with him.
Yeah.
Do HVAC, and Pops he was like my mentor.
Mm-hmm.
So, I remember us riding around back in the day, and, their Pops was well known as one of the best musicians around.
Really?
Yeah. And he, we was working together every single day.
Yeah.
So we developed a bond, and I remember going over to the shop sometimes and hearing Clifford and his bands play.
Mm.
And But then later on, you know, when I seen them playing around town, you know, and this is many years later, I think I shot Alex a message. I said, hey man, I know you don't know me, but I know you Pops, and I'd like to come check y'all out.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, so went and checked them out, and then I was invited out to the barn, and we just started jamming.
Oh, wow.
Dude, what's crazy, dude, is he played guitar, never played bass, and this was in 2019. And my brother, we had a different drummer prior, and he had some other things he had to tend to. Then my brother was like, hey, you know, I'll play drums.
Yeah.
And I went from playing bass to playing acoustic, because I was doing a lot of writing at the time, and you know, Drew was there, and we needed a bass player, so Jason started playing bass.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
So we had
never played bass in my life.
We had a bassist that just started playing bass for the first time in 2019, and a drummer that just started playing drums for the first time in 2019.
So what's cool is like me and Alex we feel like we've grown together. You know,
Yeah.
I think that's what kind of.
Yeah.
Way to mess along,
You all right?
dog.
Yeah, that kind of hurt a little bit.
You a doctor?
But yeah, it's been cool to, you know, grow with him as musicians on fairly new at that field.
Yeah. So when did you guys like start the whole Harlem Sons?
Well, like you said, there was a 2017. We had another drummer, and like that's when it started. And then Daniel come back, and then that switch he was just talking about, and that. So I guess you would.
Just this band collectively 2019.
2019.
So as soon as they started learning out the gate, we was pushing. Matter of fact, we was
weird.
playing some shows that we probably shouldn't have played.
The very first show I played with them was an EP release, and I had no idea what to
Yeah.
expect. It was my very first
I
show
forgot about
playing.
that.
That was a good show, too.
My very first show playing in 20 years in front of people, and on a different instrument. And I didn't know what to expect with that, but it was a big show.
That was a good show, dude. I remember.
That was my first show back with y'all.
Yeah, it was.
I will say this though, when
Yeah, it
that
was.
switch happened, it was like a tooth fell into place that was
Yeah.
not grinding right, you know. So
It was needed, dude.
the cool part is Alex came from guitar, so he knew all the songs we were playing on guitar, so he knew
Yeah.
the structure of every song. So when he got on the drums, he already knew what needed to happen, where the breaks were, where
Yeah.
the builds were, all that stuff, and it was just like
He's honed in on his craft now, and
That's what's up.
he's in a different pocket. And
Stuff started to
Jason's in a
change a
different
lot.
pocket as a bass player. So it's cool to see the growth all the way around. You know.
It went from playing a bunch of cover songs and trying to fit in an original and see what people think to where we were actually creating music. And
Yeah.
the songs started to change and take place because we put an album out before they were in there, and we didn't know where we were at.
Yeah.
We were trying to figure out where we're going to be and how these songs were going to be. We had no idea.
Yeah.
And like he was talking about the people like Jay, he actually this album he came down and listened to all of our songs, came from Nashville.
Oh, wow.
Gave us notes, and we all sat down collectively and picked 8, and 8 songs out of like 20. He sat through like 22 songs, I think.
Yeah, he stayed with us for 3 days.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that meant a lot to us, you know, that somebody would think enough of us to drive down from Nashville.
Yeah.
To
you
this
know,
random
stay
barn.
for 3 days to this barn.
In the middle of this
Yeah,
house.
dude. That's a lot of trust there, dude.
Yeah.
It's like a rusty looking
Hey,
barn.
and the driveway is like 2 miles long.
Yeah.
I mean, you start
Potholes
hearing
on it.
the theme to Deliverance when you start playing. If you didn't know no better,
Yeah.
because I mean it's a long driveway, and he was probably like,
Ain't no cell service out there.
yeah.
But when you get back there, it's like the 2 nicest people ever, man.
Yeah.
They let us do all that on their place. None of us live there, so.
Oh, it's heaven on earth. back
Mr.
there.
Jimmy, he's like another dad to all of us. He's been with us from the beginning of this band.
Hell, he even got us a pool table, man.
Yeah, he got his pool table to practice.
Y'all watch out.
Watch out, man.
It's nice to be in a practice and just take your mind off it for a second, shoot some pool, and then get back up there and get back home with
Who's the
your
best pool player?
Aaron.
I don't know. Alex is good too.
Alex and Aaron.
Alex gets in the zone, dude.
Yeah, when Alex is on, it's hard.
It's Alex and Aaron. I don't know. I haven't seen them go against each other, so I don't know. This is fairly new. We just got this thing. I don't think I've seen Alex versus Aaron game, so I'll sit back and watch it.
Competing for first place.
So do you guys only play in Augusta, or do y'all like travel a lot too?
No, we branch out. Not as much as we'd like to, but we branch out. We play Bike Week 2 years in a row now.
Daytona.
Yeah, Daytona Bike Week.
It's a big
It's
private
two.
event.
That's what's
We
up.
played. We played up there in what was that place was it near Columbia?
Brazelton?
Oh no, that's down there in Georgia, Brazelton. We played down there.
Yeah.
So I mean, not as much as we'd like to,
Played
but
Greenwood.
yeah, Greenwood,
Greenwood.
What's the farthest y'all played? Like
Daytona.
Daytona.
Daytona. Oh wow.
Yeah.
You guys ever played in Nashville at all, or did
No.
you get up there?
We just go there to record.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
just where we go.
Sticky.
It's tough there. I imagine it'd be tough there, man. There's a band every 2 feet.
Yeah.
You play somewhere.
It's crazy now.
My father-in-law just got back from there and he said it's just
Yeah,
one,
man.
it's hard to understand what's going on because there's so many different styles of music being played on one street.
Yeah. How would you guys like? What would you guys say the Harlem Sons is like genre? Or is it like y'all's own kind of?
Two rock for country, two country for rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
That's what people
Maybe a little
Our
grungy at times.
Grunge country.
our influences are all, dude. We
But
like a lot
never-
of different stuff, dude.
Yeah.
From Pearl Jam to
Yeah,
like he was talking about the Brent Cobb stuff.
yeah.
You know, just
Blackberry.
plus all the
Smoke,
old school stuff that our dads was jamming out to in the
Allman
garage.
Brothers,
Yeah, I
Skinner.
like a lot of the heavier stuff from back in the day, like Tool and Pantera and
Do y'all
stuff like that.
Nickelback?
Yeah, you get it.
Dude, I'm not a hater. I'm not a hater.
We're not supposed to do one of those.
Not a hater, man. I ain't mad at Nickelback, man.
Oh, man.
And they're making a lot more money than me.
That's a fact,
How
Jack.
you gonna hate on this?
Yeah. So whenever you guys get big, like, are y'all gonna like sell your souls to become,
Nah, bro.
top bands?
No,
These
man,
guys.
I think.
We'll fight the devil though.
Oh,
Yeah, we'll fight the devil. We'll fight the devil.
Yeah, we're big on, man, being authentic.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's some things that appeal to folks is we were authentic, you know.
Mhm.
Well,
It really started us.
I can say this, man. I may not be perfect all the time, but I know the Lord's put us in some good spots to be thankful for. So, you know, I'm gonna try to stay in good graces. You know what I mean? Like,
I think it's their pops looking out for us up there, man. He keeps
Yeah.
us on the straight.
yeah, man.
I feel like I know him and I never met him. Like he said, he used to work with him.
Yeah, we spend a lot of time together, man.
But you hang around Alex and Aaron enough, I get a gist of what Pops is like.
He's a cool fella, man. He coached Aaron in football. He done a lot of ball coaching
Yeah.
too.
I remember getting off work, the AC job, coming to coach baseball.
Yeah,
Yep.
an old Plunkett van.
Uh-huh.
Yep. He'd
Yeah,
come to work the next day telling me all about the games,
yeah.
you know.
But back to it, when we
Good
were
times.
first starting, we were just excited about playing some gigs, and then next thing you know, we're getting these opportunities to go shoot a music video, go to Nashville and record. So each of these little milestones are exciting for me because
Yeah.
from where it started, and then I think the coolest one for me so far, and it sounds so crazy, but a picture for Arizona Diamondbacks, JB Wendelken, he used our song Steel Toes, and he was a relief pitcher, I think.
Yeah.
This is walkout song.
Walkout song and his warm-up song. So we're watching live MLB and our song. Not that anybody in Arizona knows what the hell that is,
Right.
but I'm watching MLB TV and I'm hearing it and I'm like, oh hell yeah,
Did
dude.
y'all know he was gonna do that though?
No.
No.
Oh, so,
No.
oh wow.
I think he just told him and Alex know each other real well. And he said watch the game tonight or something, and said I'm gonna use y'all's song.
Yeah, man.
I got it recorded on my phone.
See, we got a lot of good
I-
buddies, man.
Yeah.
That's what it boils
There's a
down
lot of good buddies, dude. It's great. We work together with a lot of other bands around here, man. It's pretty. You play around here enough, you get to know a bunch of good fellas around here. So, and they're all friends with us, and they scratch our back, we scratch theirs. And like Danny Sunset, he takes real good care of us. We love playing there. We just played there, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, something like that.
Sunset Auction House, is kind of like our home away from home for the most venue. I think we play that more than anything else.
Yeah, I definitely learned that. Like it's not about what you know, it's about who you know.
Like just being friends with everybody, just being cool with everybody. Like you said, scratching their back. And
There's a lot of
back.
unselfish people, man. They'll do a lot for you, man.
Oh yeah,
It's just
Well, a lot of these people, it's their livelihood. It's how they make a living.
Yeah.
So they're investing in themselves. It's their own business.
yeah,
So you got to have the same respect to them when you talk to them and be like, hey, they're running a business, and they're trying to get to the next step. And I think that we're starting to understand that, and I think it's tough for most because like it's hard for me because I'm like, man, I just want to be real with you, like talk outside of the business, but I know that's because I got a job, an outside job. So with that being said, like that, they're all the time at work, so it's hard to get that outside conversation, man. But the only way you can is if you respect them and you treat them like a business owner yourself, because that's what we are.
There's so much help from them. Like we wouldn't be able to do half the things that we do if it wasn't for like John Holloway and his videography and his photos, dude. That means a lot, because he puts a lot of time just for us,
Yeah,
It takes a team.
I looked through his Instagram. Like all his videos are like professional.
So John does all of our videography work and most of our photography work.
Yeah.
Dude, believe it or not, like we got some kick-ass girlfriends and wives and stuff that'll take cool pictures.
Yeah.
So that always helps.
Yeah.
But John does a lot of the stuff, man. Anything video-wise, John.
And
John's killing.
we were talking about we scratched Joe's back. We
Yeah.
brought him to Nashville because he was helping us out, and look, it turned around and helped him out. Next thing you know, he's in Muscle Shoals with other bands,
Yeah.
recording. So it's cool to see them grow just as much as us because we help each other out so much.
Yeah.
Really, if it wasn't for them, we don't know shit about that. Videographer, we would have had to do 15 takes on this podcast already.
Yeah, that's difficult to do sometimes. But it was just like making a band and playing. It was like a childhood dream for all of y'all, or it just kind of happened.
Definitely mine.
Yeah, I would say mine too, but it just,
It was just my childhood.
it just
dream to be able
seems
to play.
so far out there.
Yeah.
But
There's
it'll definitely be like when I look back over my life,
it's a huge.
highlight of my life.
Yeah.
See, nobody in my family played any instruments. So if it wasn't for my neighbors over there, they're from Chile and Mexico, and they were playing Spanish guitar and all kinds of stuff. If it wasn't for them, dude, I would have never been able to keep going at guitar. So my dream was just learn how to play, I guess, and not give up. But now that dreams kind of change, everybody wants to be their rock star hero, I guess.
Yeah.
We all got influences. Eddie Vedder hanging from the.
Yeah.
That's you can only see it. I remember when MTV was hot back in the day. We finally get to see the movies, the videos on there, and that amped it up.
Yeah.
It just goes from the radio to TV too. So.
Yeah, MTV was big when I was coming
Yeah.
up, and that's when it was videos all day. And then the
It
cool
was
thing
reality
was,
shows.
the cool thing was they had a countdown
Yeah,
like every day at
CDs.
5:30.
Mm-hmm.
And it was basically people that called in and said, okay, this was their favorite song, favorite video. And it was,
Yeah.
I remember every day after school, I couldn't wait to get home to watch that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's back when it was a bunch of rock videos like Tesla, Guns N' Roses, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
That's what's up. Do y'all have a lot of music videos? Or?
We just have one.
No, we got two.
Well, two, yeah, I forgot. And we also have a documentary on there. It's
We have.
It's actually of us recording in Nashville.
That first album
Yeah, the first
that
one.
we done together in 2019 or 2021, whenever it was when it come out.
John, yeah, he came up with John.
We done just like the making of type thing,
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of explain who we were as a band, kind of like that route,
Yeah.
It has Jay in there too, our producer at the
Mhm.
time. It's really cool. It's just
We
a
were-
short 3-part documentary.
We were a little bit more comfortable then because the first time we went up there just to do a single to feel it out, and
Yeah.
that's you're walking into a different space you've never been. It's definitely a cool space to work at.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Do y'all record anywhere down here, or just something?
we
Yeah.
recorded a CD, the first one before the band. We did it
Yeah.
in Aiken. but up there it's like kind of reverting back to how you see yourself grow after doing something like that.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. I get home and I have to go listen to our own songs and learn what the hell I did while I was in there. I had to learn it all over again and listen to it at home.
Yeah.
Just because you get so. I would say the difference between the first album here is we work day jobs. We would get off of there and be out there till 11 o'clock at night, tired from working all day.
Yeah.
You know, your mind's not on music. Where when we go to Nashville to record with Jay, we'll take a week off if it takes that long, depending on how many songs we're going to do. And when you wake up, that's your job. There's nothing you got to worry about back here as far as your day job goes, so you can actually be a little bit more creative.
Yeah, it's nice to take time off and just go into a creative space where that's all you've got going on.
And
is to come up with cool shit.
Every time you go there, you come back with more knowledge. Like, to
Do y'all
hone
listen
your
to
craft
some
better.
songs, like in the car?
I do every now and then to just refresh upon them. I've listened to it so many times. It's funny you say that, we go back and forth. It's not like we just go there and it comes back. It has to go through this process of where we listen to it 100 times before I feel like it ever comes out. Just, what I'm talking about.
Usually by the time it's mixed and mastered and done with, I'm done listening to it.
Yeah.
But then we come back, it's nice on a random day to pull it up and listen to it.
Yeah. Have y'all ever collaborated with like a different band or another band? Or want to in the future?
No, I think there's
Definitely.
yeah, man. I think any opportunity to do something cool would be cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It was cool, a lot of the times we would add stuff to we added a female vocalist on a couple of songs. She was cool as could be. So it's cool to kind of hear that aspect of where you could be if maybe one day having your own female vocalist in the band. To add that extra element. And it's a nice little taste here and there, but we don't obviously can't replicate that while we're up on stage, but that's just stuff you put in the pocket.
Yeah.
We tried too much stuff before. We hired everybody under the sun on a track. Piano player, female vocalist. It's just, it's just, you live and you learn. So that's us, each song that we go in there, it's like, yeah, we're satisfied, but what's the next one's going to sound like,
Yeah.
Because he's got a bank of songs. I don't even know how deep your bank is anymore.
That's right.
He writes a lot of songs. It seemed like for a little bit there, you guys can probably say so, like every other week he was coming in with, y'all check this out, and getting a voice recording. So we got a lot of work to do to catch up on that list, but we've got probably 15 songs that we haven't even laid down yet. So each time we get that, that opportunity, it's one more that, like, those things will be around forever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
our kids and that, they can be like, pops up there, it sounds like shit.
Yeah, so I've really only noticed that, features on different songs have really been only in rapping and that kind of stuff. How come it's not with like any other genre? Or how do you guys feel about that, I guess?
I think there is. I think there's a lot more of two different bands doing the same song, just in different perspectives. For instance, like to the music artists that we listen to would be the Steelwoods and Brent Cobb.
Yeah.
And they do a song called "Let the Rain Come Down." They wrote it together, but they recorded it separately, two different ways.
You get it two different,
And
you
so-
can listen to it one way, this way.
Yeah, but you do have features as well. So like, there was one. It's called "Yesterday's Wine." It had Blackberry Smokes, Charlie Starr, Jamie Johnson, and the dadgum goat. Was it Merle?
George
George Jones. That's who it was. That's who it was.
I think the features are more subtle in this kind of music than they are in other genres.
Yeah, they're
You
not
don't
as
have like
heavy
a
for
call out
sure.
when you come in and do your part. You kind of have to be in the loop on that brand of music,
Yeah.
and you'll catch it and know who it is.
Yeah. It's
And a
not
lot
as much a show, it's more like actual genuine music.
Well, a lot of them
It's
tell
not
a
big
story.
names.
A lot of if you listen to a lot of our songs, they actually have a storyline to them.
Yeah.
It's either talking about someone you can relate to from some stuff that we've been down, you never know, but we wrote a song and it tells the story of one-eyed killer on the Savannah River, you know what I mean? But it takes you from front to back. Aaron had a good story with that one, and everybody likes to listen to that song just because
Story
you hear
songs are
you hear this dude's whole problem all the way from start to finish.
Yeah. What song is that?
Stone Cold.
What's it about?
Man, I think
Break it down. Where'd you get that inspiration?
I think me and Daniel was sitting on the back porch one day, and I was like, write a riff, and he wrote a riff, and I was like, all right, well, let me just kind of almost essentially freestyle over it, you know,
Yeah.
and we kind of, it was like a little gloomy night, and that's how the first line come up. Storm clouds rolling overhead.
Started at.
Worst storm I've seen around here in years. And then pine trees. I was just painting, you know, trying to. Well, that was what was in front of me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so kind of wrote it out, and it just seemed dark, and it was like at that point it's like feed the song what it wants.
Yeah.
So you kind of go into this realm of like, all right, if we're in this feel of something that's gloomy and heavy, what can you write in that can tell a story?
Yeah.
That could keep painting this picture, and it becomes just like this murder ballad thing.
The last
you know,
verse,
like,
the last verse that he wrote, he said, "I made him a plate before I called the law, and then I fed him his last meal, and the last thing he ate was a 45,
no, his last thing he ate
iron
was iron
sights,
sights.
5 inches of cold steel." It's like that's pretty. It paints the picture of what was going on in that room right there. So.
I don't
Let
know,
your
man.
imagination.
I promise I'm okay. Like, you know, like it was just man, it was just like drawing a picture. I don't know.
We have a song that we're working on called Southside Valley Girl, and it's just about.
It's about
Go ahead, explain.
Pretty self-explanatory.
yeah. We'll leave it at that.
I know what it's about.
Southside Valley Girl.
So it's just that's a whole story there, you know. So it's cool to hear the story songs. Plus, you know, each I've heard this so many times about our album. It's just like every song's a lot different than the other one. If you listen to it from front to back, dude, it takes you on a pretty wild roller coaster ride. It gets like real sentimental in the middle, and then it gets to like the story song into something that's heavy, hard rock, and it's just like they're like, I can't really describe what you sound like,
Dude, it's almost like dad rock and southern rock. You know, like
Like I said, we was a country band until we played at the country bar.
Yeah, for some reason, everybody called us a country band, and I was like,
Folks got mad.
yeah, they got mad that we.
dude, that is true. That is a
Folks
fact.
got mad that we were playing.
Well,
It wasn't the country music.
Shout out to 105.7 because they've been playing Broken Man off that album.
Oh, really?
And that song, that's my favorite.
Yeah.
Jay said it was like catching lightning in a bottle. I think we did that in one take, didn't we? One or two takes. It was.
We did. That's another one of those things where when we were in the studio, we all did things that we didn't normally do on our own instruments.
Yeah.
Dude, it got late in the day. Everybody was kind of still tired, but it was the song, and you know the song that we created that carried that vibe anyway.
Yeah.
So because you were already in that mindset, it
Just
it
winding
worked
down.
better. It worked better.
Yeah.
And that's weird to think about it, you know.
And we've been in
That song
there.
kinda takes you on a ride. Like it starts very melodic and ends this big climactic thing.
That's also something good about people like Jay that have that knowledge under their belt. He knows when it's not going well. He won't say anything. He'll be like, "Hey man, let's go get some lunch and we'll come back." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's key for, hey man, this isn't working and we're wasting time.
Yeah.
So, but it's something as simple as changing. He'll change the color of the light in the room to create a vibe.
Really?
Jay
Create a
seems to
vibe.
know when to switch things up when he feels.
He can
like-
feel the tension, or he can feel us not just. He actually said, once the red light was on, everybody got comfortable. Then we actually started making music. We were just playing around till then, so it's just, things start to click. And a lot of that was us learning the processes of how to like structure. We did a lot of homework. Those 8 songs, I think we played them for like 3 months, every practice, all the time. So when we got there, we had the structure down, and it was cool to hear him say, "Hey man, this project was," he said, "was relatively easy." He said, "You know, we did our homework." So that's the cool part about these guys, finding 5 dedicated guys that have families, work day jobs, and we set aside, you know, 1 day, sometimes 2 days a week to practice.
Yeah.
We take time away from all of our families and stuff to go do all this stuff, but I mean, like I said, those songs will be around forever, and these opportunities only come once.
Yeah.
So,
Where do you guys see yourself in like 5 years?
I'm about to go deep on you, man. You ready?
That's fine, man.
So like,
here it comes.
I read this thing, and you can relate to it because you're a creator. But I read this thing and it said, in today's world, don't base yourself off time, right? Like, so don't base yourself off of in 5 years.
Yeah.
You know, base yourself in today's world. 5 social media posts or 5 episodes, you know, whatever the case may be, because it's really about the work you're putting in. Because I mean, anybody could take days off for 5 years, and, you know. But in our reality, you know, that's where the world is now. It's almost crazy. Like nobody really listens to music videos no more. Nobody really listens to a whole album.
Well, the craziest part was the last album came out. We chose vinyls instead of CDs because the CDs just sat. They just don't move. You know, obviously everybody's gonna buy it on iTunes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the vinyls are making a comeback. That was a real cool thing to have your own vinyl.
Yeah.
Well, they were actually super popular. Everybody, you know, they bought them.
Really, the vinyls?
Yeah,
They're making a turn, man. Pretty soon, people are gonna be using typewriters again. I
But
mean,
you just you can hang them on the wall if anything, you know.
Yeah.
remember when you're in high school, you had to have the smallest cell phone ever. Now some of them are huge. That's what goes full circle sometimes.
Yeah. So how is like streaming? Like, how do you guys? Do y'all make good money off of that, or is it?
No,
You know, you
no.
it's different like sales.
No, man, we make our money when we have it rolling. We make our money in merch and shows.
Yeah.
You know, but it's hard to get. You know where we're at. It's hard to get merch rolling all the time. You know.
That's a battle in itself.
Yeah. So
He heads that up really well. We put all of our trust in him for that.
it's tough, man. But the thing is it costs so much to to go record or to do that or to go to a show, you know, that you empty out your merch and your band account. Like none of it, we don't take a cut off nothing, dude.
Yeah.
That was also hard to find 5 people.
You know, we don't take a cut off nothing. So when it goes into the pot, it goes into the pot, and you try to divvy up merch and you try to divvy up shows, and then you get to like, hey man, we have opportunity to go record an album. It's gonna take everything in the bank. But you know,
It'll pay dividends.
yeah. So we're all like, all right, wash it out, and then we go to the studio,
And then
get an Airbnb.
Yeah,
you know,
that's no money out of it. We only pay for our own food,
Yeah.
and that's the joy of it. Because
And
if
then
we would
when
have
you
taken
When you have a van that
Oh,
pops
yeah.
up, that gets in your pocket too.
old Betty, man,
Old Betty White has put a number on us.
yeah, she hasn't been a good investment so far.
There's no way
It's definitely
she will
negative.
last as long as the original Betty White.
Yeah.
But
falsely
anyways,
accused. Falsely accused.
but yeah, she that was an investment that that we wouldn't be able to do.
Was it? Is it a band like?
It's a band, dude.
It's just
Yeah.
Old Dodge, 94 Dodge, 35, 93 Dodge.
B350.
Daniel,
So, dude, listen to this. Listen to this,
It's
man.
bad.
So we had this band. It was like football season of man, what was it like? It had to have been
21.
21 or 22. It was after we released the album.
Yeah.
And so we're like, we're gonna get a van. So it was during the football season. Jason's like, hey man, I can go get this van. Jason's the only one that can go get it. Everybody else is working doing something. Jason goes down there and gets this van, and he brings it back up. And because it's late Saturday night, Georgia football's on.
It was like a championship game.
Everybody's partying. Like I'm like looking at it, and everybody's like hyped up about it. Like, yeah, man, it's the coolest thing in the world. And dude, I remember
Smelled
waking.
so bad in there.
I remember waking up the next morning and walking out there and being like, "What did we?"
Yeah, you see it in the daylight. You're like, damn.
I was like, the windshield silicone on.
Paint's peeling everywhere.
Radio.
There's a nail holding the passenger seatbelt into the side of the van.
Yeah.
Like a nail.
No carpet, headliners falling.
That's why Jason's not allowed to do anything by himself anymore.
Nah, that ain't how it went because I shot a video of the whole thing and everybody was good.
Hey,
Check engine light come on.
Yeah, halfway on.
As soon as I got anything crazy, it's like, I was like,
They
no.
failed to mention too though, right when we pulled up Aaron's yard, Aaron got in it and probably revved it to I don't know. And was doing donuts in the yard.
Hey man, somebody tell us some stories. Plead the fifth.
on a real story though, she did let us down on the way back from Daytona this year.
But hey, let's talk about her nicely for a second.
Yeah, she did.
Let's talk about her nicely for a
Yeah,
second.
she got us there.
She got us to Nashville and back in the coldest weather I've ever been in.
Yeah, it was,
It was freezing.
bad.
It was
It was not packed.
It wasn't no problems, but she got us there and back.
But then on the, we were riding back. We made it to Daytona, pulling. I had my truck pulling 2 Harleys. Alex is in a 4Runner pulling a Harley, and then we got the van loaded down with every piece of music gear we got. And she's got a big ass. There's a lot of room there. There's a lot of room back there. You can fit a whole stage in there, man. All the gear for playing a whole show we fit inside it.
I was telling one of the guys at the music store, the Daytona story, the van blowing up on the way back. I was like, we had to jump on the Harleys and ride the rest of the way.
Oh,
He
yeah.
said, wow, man, it's rock and roll.
We're riding back, and I get separated from them, and I'm going up this side of Florida. They're going up the coast on 95, I think it was. And then I get a call, and I'm like an hour from home, and we got separated so far. I was like, I'm just going to follow the GPS. Next thing you know, we're on 2 different roads. And called me and said, Betty's done, bro. I was like, what you mean? He said, you got to come get us. So I drove. I ain't gonna lie, I was pissed at the moment. That stuff gets under your skin sometimes. But I drove on the side of the
First off, dude, this cat should have never left from behind us. He
No,
passed us and went around us.
I didn't pass you.
Yeah.
Now you lying.
No, we watched you. We said, "Where's Drew going?" He
There
said-
he goes.
we were like, "All right." So I guess he just wanted to get on without us, man.
I didn't
like,
pass y'all, man.
yeah.
Off in the sunset.
Y'all
Gone.
left me in some 18-wheelers, dude, and I couldn't catch back up to y'all. So y'all won't be lying now on this thing. Anyways, we take all the music gear out of Betty, pull the bikes out of the trailer. They got to ride the bikes back. And it was cold.
It was cold.
And then
Good God.
we put all the music gear in the trailer of the bikes room. We left, Wrecker came and got Betty, and she stayed down there in Savannah for a couple weeks, man.
Where's Betty at now these days?
Betty's getting a motor.
Put in.
She's in Blythe.
Yeah.
Fixed.
I think the motor's in, right?
The motor is in.
Motor is in.
Yeah.
This one got a warranty. So
Forward progress.
Yeah. It's just got a warranty.
at least if the motor goes, that's one thing we can cash in.
Thank you, Jasper.
So,
If the motor goes, I'm driving that thing off a bridge.
All right.
Oh man, yes, genius.
Yeah. Somebody's going to have. You just said that on
that's
the
just
air.
one of many stories that goes along with
There
these
goes a
guys.
whole insurance.
There goes the insurance
You
claim.
guys can ride.
We're a damn goon squad, dude. It's different every day. It's different every
It's a
day.
fact.
We're all the same people. You never know how this. We always kind of get shit on when it comes to vehicles. So,
Yeah, dude. We've had a rough road.
dude, the one time we were driving Betty and that fan shroud come loose on the way to Nashville, dude. It sounded like the motor was about to explode. We thought the motor
That was the
done.
first trip with it. That was the first trip with
We
it.
pull in there and the fan shroud wasn't even bolted on, and it fell on the fan on the motor, and it was just getting beat to hell. I go in there in this
We were
gas station. We're in
sober.
the gas station in the middle of nowhere, and I asked him. I said, "You got any zip ties?" And he had one, and it was dry rotted. And when I went to put it on, it snapped already once. I was like, "Please, just." We got it. But we
Please.
made it.
We thought it was the motor. Not
Yeah, it
me and
sounded
Alex,
bad.
Alex was driving. I was in the passenger seat. And I mean, we're cruising, and all of a sudden we just hear.
Everybody else is
Alex,
just chilling.
Alex looks at me like, and I look at him. Oh, this ain't good, dude. So we pull over, and sure enough, man, the fan shroud is.
We can't even get a new van now because now it's a thing and people are invested in the van
Yeah.
story.
I went to Premier Outdoors to get something from my lawnmower, and the girl working in there, she was like, "How's the van?" I'm like, "Man, it's not good. It's not good."
Well, it gets so cold in that thing. Even with the heat on in the back, our guitars got all messed up a couple times. I mean, it's just
Yeah, how does heat affect guitars?
Not good.
moisture really is.
Not
the-
good.
You got to think you're good. There's a lot of glue involved in, right?
Yeah.
Like gluing, the binding, the bracing, and the inside, and all that. So when things heat up, the glue lets loose.
Oh.
So
Plus, when there's moisture soaking up in the wood, it expands and then it contracts when it gets dry. Especially acoustics, like you know,
if you
he's
have
lucky.
old-
It's cool. He has a cool story with his. You know, it was his grandfather's guitar, and it wasn't even playable when he got it.
yeah,
and
it
he
was
spent-
pieces.
He took it to Gibson, and they fixed it all up. So we've been on the search for a new acoustic for him. We need to retire this thing, but it's hard. Once you have that, it's hard to find that sound or something close to it, and
And it just feels good, you know.
it just feel like home.
I think
It's almost 100 years
on
old.
stage.
Yeah.
You know,
54, I think, 1954.
Yeah.
I can't do the math that
It is
well,
beat.
so.
It checked
gonna
all
try.
up.
I'm so scared of hitting it on stage.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's I mean, it's got such awesome history behind it, you know.
Yeah, well, you just got it refretted the other day. It's just
Yeah.
go through some frets are like cars on a tire. There's those lines on the fretboard, and if you don't know, they wear out quite often. But
So you guys don't do the like cliche guitar slams on the
No.
stage? And,
Not yet.
dude,
not yet.
When I get on
He
the
might
level,
would.
when I get on the level that I can afford that,
Yeah.
definitely.
yeah, everyone. If I break it, I'm like, damn, I just bought that
Shit,
thing.
if
It
I break
hurts.
mine, I might have a guitar.
Yeah, man, I don't know if I can do that.
But it's cool. They all have stories with them, just like his. And Alex got the headstock tattooed on his arm.
Yeah.
But it's
Alex has got Pops Taylor. That's
yeah,
super nice.
yeah, that thing sounds so good. They all still have tunes left in them. You know what I mean? How many songs has that Gibson wrote now?
Pretty good bit.
That Jerker's giving you like 30 songs.
Yeah.
Probably more.
It's probably chump change to most folks, though,
Yeah.
you know.
What do you mean?
But, that's interesting there too, because when a new song comes to play, we've got sometimes it'll click when we're at practice and the song falls together, and then we've got songs that have been on the burner for us to figure out. And it's like Aaron will start it, we'll attempt it for a minute, and then it just ain't feeling it, we'll come back to it and we try it again until we finally figure it out. And sometimes it takes people, like the people we go to Nashville, you know, like working with Jay to find out, to bring that out of you, figure that out and help you finish a song.
Sometimes they just fall together. You won't
Oh,
even be
yeah.
expecting it, you know.
Yeah, can y'all like feel when the song's gonna go good, like from the first
Yeah,
couple
you can
seconds?
definitely feel when it goes bad.
It falls together, it falls together. It's-
Well, we play
It
better.
falls apart,
You play
falls
better when
apart.
it's like that, and then once you're playing better, it all comes together better. Because if it's, you know, one of the toughest battles is getting the mix that you're hearing
Yeah.
suitable enough for you to have fun. Because if that's off and something's out of whack, it's hard for you to just feel it, and you know, that's a big battle there. So we work real hard at trying to get that figured out, and we're slowly transitioning to some in-ears and stuff to help us out. This is all stuff we learned on the road. You know, we do a lot of stuff to metronomes now we didn't do. This is growing as a musician. When you're a kid, you're just playing along with them on the radio, but when you get in the studio and they're talking Nashville number system and you live here in Augusta, Georgia, and you're like, what the hell is that? Can you give me a G chord?
That's
So
the number system.
yeah, there's a lot to learn, and it's cool because you never can learn it all.
Yeah.
That's one thing that keeps you going. You just never, you never know what you might learn there,
Yeah.
and apply that to the writing process. For example, just taking what he has. I think when we started, y'all probably agree, we played too much. Every person's playing like they're out to show everybody who they are.
Yeah.
And now there's a lot more, like there's a lot of parts I don't even play.
It's like making music.
Yeah.
You know, like the
Yeah.
word, the saying, making music. You kind of fall into that as you mature.
And you want it to take you on a roller coaster ride. You want to tell a story. You don't want it to be the whole level and the feeling all the way through the same. And you don't feel that roller coaster that people attach to telling the
Yeah.
story. That's stuff we've learned along the way. And then that I struggle with every time we write a song is learning to play less and do more things that benefit the band as a whole instead of being the guy out there ripping solos. The solos just you know how guitar players are. They want to be front and center. Jason probably knows.
That shit that Jay said
Damn guitar
really
players.
stuck with me about what he looks for in music. And if it doesn't trigger an emotional response, then it's just
And
garbage.
you just waste
You kind of learn
That's kind of
to,
how I look at it. If it doesn't make you feel something, you ain't really doing nothing.
You also gotta try to add what the song calls for.
Yeah.
You know, instead of just worrying about your own part, take a step back and say, wait a minute, this song,
Make everybody else sound better.
right.
The-
The job
the
is to try
perfect
to
ex-
make everybody else sound better while doing your job.
Yeah.
The perfect example is that song "Home" we just released. Y'all check it out. That was a. We've never done anything like that in my life. I played the most minimal guitar you ever played as a guitar player. There was just some crazy things Jay was doing with a. I mean, I'm not going to give his secrets away. It's just, but the song takes you on that roller coaster, and Alex never gets into a full drum beat, and that was something that we've never done. We've never had a song that has percussion in it, but it never goes to a full drum beat, but it still showed the emotion that we were trying to put out there, and that was a huge learning curve for me, and that's a song that taught me a lot that I was telling you to play less.
Yeah.
That's what Aaron was saying. I heard feed the song.
Yeah, it
What it
was.
calls for, give it that.
Mhm.
Sometimes less is more.
Yeah. So where can people find you guys at? Like Instagram?
Yeah. We're on all social media platforms, I believe. Well, I say that, man. We don't have like your
Tumblr, MySpace.
yeah, we don't have that kind of stuff. But we have like, your Instagram, Facebook. What's that new thing that's like supposed to replace Twitter?
Truth social.
Yeah, I kind of wish they still had MySpace because you can have your
Oh,
song
man.
playing when you click. Remember, you used to have a song playing.
Dude.
We could be putting our song
You
on
know
our
what?
page.
I thought that was cool.
No, man,
I'm just.
it's
Was it Threads?
Threads. That's it. Yeah, Threads. YouTube, Spotify, and Instagram are big for us to grow.
Yeah.
So if you want to find us, man, find us there.
It's just the Harlem
Apple
Sons.
Music.
Yeah, the Harlem Sons. That's where we need growth at, man.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we need all the help we can get there. That's a battle. I know Aaron struggles with it. Trying to figure that. That's a whole different. You could probably take a class on that. You know what I mean? There's so much to learn about figuring those algorithms out and stuff. And
It's a lot.
it's crazy that we're even talking about it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's so nuts, man. It just sucks. Like you want it to be like, man, we just play music and put out an album and everybody kind of relates to it, but it's just not that. No, it's not that.
Well, you got to think back in the day, people would buy an album. They had to listen to the whole thing.
Yeah.
They don't just get one song like you get iTunes these days. You actually had to buy an album, and I think that carries over to me now, man. I buy.
Yeah, but
Oh,
like now everybody puts out an album and then it's released. It's like waterfalled out in singles. You know what I mean? Like you'd be like, oh, it's a whole new album, and then it'll all be unavailable. And the next thing you know, he'll drop one.
Yeah.
And he'll drop
Like
another
2 or
one.
3 songs and then he drops the full album.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just, I think
It's wild.
way different from
Facebook's
how it used to
probably Facebook's probably been our biggest help as far as letting people know where we're going to play.
Yeah.
That's probably
Yeah.
the best play that beats anything. Probably beats flyers and posters back in the day, to be honest with
Well,
you.
that's where we have, that's where we have most of the people viewing us at is on Facebook. But that's where they get their information from. So that's an avenue too. So.
Do you have a website at all?
Yes, we do. We do have a website.
It's just the Harlem Sons.
Yeah, the HarlemSons.com. Everything's simple, man. Try to keep you there. You know what I mean?
You gotta have the same thing for everything. So
The Harlem Sons. It's all Kobe's.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for being on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, dude, man. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.